Just so y'all don't leave from boredom, I'm going to be playing a slightly retailed video in the background.
Have you ever been in a group chat and thought, wow, if anyone ever sees these texts, we're going to jail? Because I was in a group chat like that. But one day, that machine did get leaked. And the punishment we got for this leak was 10 times worse than we ever
Hey
did.
guys,
It all started after
I'm going to do Snowgrave, then I'm going to switch up how to do the weird route. Actually, I have to go to the bathroom real quick, so yeah. Once upon a time, just was whispered, oh my shadow was a legend of hope and dreams. It was a legend of light and dark, legend of.
The teacher nods her head, and once the girl's done talking, she goes, Tyler, they need you in the office.
For my light and dark, have lived in balance, bringing peace to the world.
I'm sure this is not bad.
But it was in the shadows of terrible calamity. The sky won't with black tails. The land will crack with fear.
Mrs. Daniels.
There's pounding. The earth will draw a final blow. Only the shining will flow. 3 heroes appear and one says, a human, a monster, and a prince. Only the You know, I'm gonna stop yapping. I'm just gonna.
She's got a folder in front of her, hands crossed, and a look on.
Oh, right, I already did the.
You guys are never going to college. So we all sit down.
I already did the.
It is pitch silent.
Okay, I already did the weird route for that, so I'm going to put on a video on how to do weird route in chapter 3.
Tell them if this sounds familiar. Nobody comes to school Friday, just like that. They all started side-eyeing each other. Eli, who was sitting.
Actually, no.
Tried to speak. Sorry, that was me. But before he could even finish his sentence, the principal goes, Eli, you'll have your check. What is this? Judge Judy. She looks up and makes eye contact with each one of us.
Turns out I haven't done it, so.
All of you. Luckily, one of you, Marcus, was concerned, and he came to me with this message and showed it to me. Side note, Marcus had his eyes glued to the table all the time.
Well, I guess we're doing the Snowgrave spam tune fight.
It was a joke. And I really hope it was. But you have to understand that in this day and age, we cannot, and I mean cannot, undermine how serious this is. That's when you and I raised the hand again. I did this was math class. I promise it was a joke. I didn't mean anything by it. I was just frustrated with how much older I am, and I was joking about it. I wasn't planning on actually doing anything. I swear. Little did I know, you should not have believed a word Eli said. She nods slowly, listening to Eli, and then she writes something in her folder, and then she goes, I have a question. Why did no one else?
Sleeping at the farm.
All of us started to slip and look at each other like we were lost in a sketch. Any of you who felt that this message was concerning, you had a responsibility to report it to me, even if it turned out to be a joke. But none of you did. Marcus did. Matter of fact, all your replies to this message made it seem like you guys thought it was funny. That is why Marcus is not in trouble today. At this point, we could just feel that she was building onto something, and then she goes, as for the rest of you, I'm currently reviewing whether this falls under our failure to report clause. There's a strong argument to be made that you guys should be suspended. One of my friends goes, wait, what? We thought what he said was a joke. We didn't think it was serious. We just think dumb stuff in that group chat all the time. Mrs. Daniels doesn't even flinch while she responds, yes, and sometimes those jokes turn into headlines. I can't even lie. That was a kill bar with Mrs. Daniels. Like, I respect it. But in that moment, it wasn't funny. And listen, she wasn't wrong. But at the same time, this was Eli we were talking about. This man looks safe as good. Raid Area 51, and then he showed up to school and he's taking his phone. No one affected Chaz haven't been addressed anything except for him or so he thought. She closes the folder and then says, all you did was superintendent today to decide on appropriate disciplinary action. But as of now, you're all under administrative review. We didn't even know what that meant. What kind of ominous Harry Potter language is administrative review? Eli looks like he's about to arrive. Jake looks summed out. Trace just whispering something to himself. I mean, I was just staring at the folder hoping that if I didn't hard enough, it won't go away. The principal dismisses us, and the moment we leave the room, we scatter like scared rats. We're all having a post-game best fathers with each other, but we're getting suspended. It gets over. I'm dead. My mom is literally going to make me disappear. So he wasn't lying when he said it, by the way. His mom would actually do that. Then Marcus tries to speak up and says, guys, I didn't need to get you in trouble like this. And all of a sudden, Marcus, stop on me, right? You get it? He was trying to do the right thing. But he also just served us up to a principal on a silver platter. The next few hours of school felt like a fever dream. I couldn't focus in class no matter what. Not that I could before, so I couldn't eat lunch. And you guys have a week. I'm a big bag, so that was not one. I couldn't even know from the group chat from how terrified I was with it now. The worst part, no one knew what our fate was going to be. No one in our school knew about this yet until Monday morning. This story was never framed across from the hallway in the school. Now, I was just hoping the girl I had a crush on like bad boys because that's what I became. I wore SpongeBob underwear at the time, by the way. But we all thought we were cooking. Hard to a crisp. And it all started with the last sentence. Nobody comes to school Friday. I was thinking, the whole time we were in administrative review, I was just thinking the same thing in class. We're definitely getting suspended. I always thought I would get a caramel cookie. That took me out. But it turns out, it was just me and my mom after finding out this news. And just like we were student, it started to spread around the school and get crazy. People started fabricating the story, making it sound way worse than it was. He turned from a silly little text in the group chat to 5 guys planning to fall on the school. Like, if you're ever gonna snitch about like angels, can you at least make it sound cool? And not the same. Trace said, I don't know shit no one knows. I just had to go and ask him if I was gonna be on the news. We're spiraling, and we even stopped texting in the group chat because now anything could be used as evidence. But here's where it gets straight. We get back to school on Monday morning, which was the day we were supposed to learn the news about what our fate was going to be. But when we get there, all day we're expecting, we're waiting. But nothing happens.
Dang
No
it.
one gets called into the office, no announcement, no anything. We get through the whole day of school in a constant state of fear, just waiting for the moment our names were going to get called over the intercom. But it never happened. I even sneaked a glance into the office during the passing period, and guess what? Mrs. Daniels wasn't there. Tuesday, same thing. No update, no principal. So during lunch one day, we asked one of the teachers we were all cool with if they knew where Principal Daniels was at. You know what they said? She spawned a new player against the world. That's right, she gave her. We were super excited after hearing this news because we were hoping that this would give us more time to not get in trouble. Like, imagine being on death row and then the word of tyrants the day before you're supposed to get executed. That's what it felt like. I fell to my knees as if I just got drafted to the NBA, which was always my dream, but It didn't happen because I love LeBron so much that I didn't want to overtake him as the GOAT. And I'm also far from 11. But we knew that this didn't mean we were complete. We were hoping that having a baby would make Principal Daniels forget about the whole situation. But no, of course we couldn't get the easy way out because instead of that happening, we had to deal with a new character. The person that would be stepping in when Principal Daniels was gone. The one and only Mr. Lopez. Now, Mr. Lopez.
Yeah, I'm just fighting the secret bosses. I don't know how to get to Jebel, though.
He was home and he had a face that said, "Don't mess with me." And no, he was not much like, okay, so I just wanted to believe that we were safe now. We knew that Mr. Lopez has secret undertones. We tried to lay low the rest of the week, just hoping that everyone would forget about the situation. And just when we thought that we might be out of the woods, Jake gets called to the office. And at this point, our brains are doing gymnastics trying to figure out what this means. Is this when we finally meet our device? About 15 minutes go by, where the rest of us are just panicking, thinking about what they're talking about in that office. Then finally, Jake returns. We saw him right paparazzi. What happened? Oh, we could. Jake just blinks and then goes, "Guys, I think we're okay." Now, this dude's delivery was way too big for the pressure we were under. So we made him sit down and explain everything that just happened in that office. Jake goes, "Okay," so I walked in, and Mr. Lopez is just sitting. Does the same as my first team. He just goes, "You're one of the guys from the group chat thing, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he plunged through the same folder that Mrs. Daniels had on us as if it was a crime scene investigation. Okay. But what did he say? He read through the folder, sighed real loud, and then he went, "Okay, you're free to go. But just so you know, we're going to be calling you back in the office very soon. So just be aware."
Is that an Islam?
Jake told the principal that Eli was a good kid that could just be crazy at sometimes. And after giving this explanation, Mr. Lopez shrugged a little bit and then told him he could go. What's this on me? We had no idea. But we thought it was really strange that out of everyone, Jake was the only person to get called into the office. But then sure enough, over the next few days, we all got called in. And each time, Mr. Lopez gave a different version of the same speech, basically just interrogating us, asking us what Eli was like, and asking us about what usually went on inside that group chat. When it was finally my turn to go, I was prepared. I had a whole speech ready. I wouldn't even have said, "I understand the gravity of the situation. I reflected deeply on my actions. And I want you to know that I've changed." Lopez just cuts me off after about 5 seconds and goes, "Finally, please stop." Okay. After the whole week went by, we all got called into the office, except for one person, the culprit himself, Eli. He was the last one. And honestly, no one knew how he would go, because technically, he did send a message, even if it was a joke. Anytime Miss Daniels with the post note saying, "P9, Eli," we knew that our fate probably lied in his hands. And no one, that's a scary thing to think about. So the next day, we're instant computing. When Eli gets called to the office, he pulls up the facial expression of that feeding with a nod where he just accepts his fate. He gathers stuff and goes to the office. 30 minutes go by. 40. Bell rings. Still.
Sans. I'm free now. I'm free now tonight. I'm free now tonight, fine.
Straight down and says, "Starting next Monday, I got 1 week of this full suspension." Because he gave Eli's punishment right then and there. That meant that if we weren't getting any punishment, he would have done it to us when we got called into the office. So the case must have been closed. No one was getting expelled. Only Eli got in trouble, which, hey, he can take it. But finally, I stand up at my desk, just thinking, "You're gonna mess me. Just get it over with already." Once we get to the office, Ruth's there, waiting for us, Principal Daniels. And she's got that dang folder in her hands. It was like she came back from taking care of her kid just to punish us. Where'd she even come from? Don't she have a baby to be feeding right now? We thought after she gave birth, we would never have to see her again. But there she was. No more baby bump, which, Miss Daniels, you were looking pretty good at. Okay, but that's not the point. Because after we all see her, then she starts talking. You always know that. My child. I was deciding all the punishment you deserved from your jail. Yeah, that's it. But we're all going to jail, aren't we? And after reviewing all the texts and details, I decided that every one of you should be suspended. This was the moment. I knew it. My mom was about to disown me. No work you can use for me. I'm about to get kicked out of the house.
I basically just want to fight the Titan, that's about it.
A job. But then, in one final twist to the story, Mrs. Daniels goes, "But I'm not currently the principal." So I handed over the folder to Mr. Lopez and let him decide what to do with it. "Well, no, what the hell's all about to do to us?" And then she goes, "And luckily for all of you, after talking to each and every one of you individually, he decided that while what you did was dumb and irresponsible, you don't deserve to listen. So you can thank him for letting you off. Thank him? Man, I would have given him a kiss right then and there. So at the end of the day, Eli was the only one to get suspended. And Eli, I'm sorry you had to take the fall. But maybe next time, tell him to send a text message that makes it sound like Jeffrey Dahmer is your role model. If your friend framed you for a crime you didn't commit, would you snitch on them? Or would you take the fall? Because this was a choice I did make one time. And let me just say, I did not make the right decision. It all started when I went to the ball with my friend. It was supposed to just be a chill Saturday. Me and my friend Harry, who were bored and broke, were trying to think of things to do. And by putting our three brain cells together, we landed on going to the ball. This was a place me and Harry went a lot. Not because we liked shopping, but because this was always where the pretty girls were, and we would try to flirt with them. And by flirting with them, I mean walking by them without making eye contact and hoping that they fall in love with us. So that's what we did. This, like I said earlier, we want to know. Life's the phone because pretending to be an NPC and saying thank you for the rose. So I knew Harry couldn't afford any headphones, but I just assumed he wanted to browse around and not actually buy anything. So I went in, and that is where I messed up. So we're at Best Buy, just browsing around. I'm in the fridge section, hoping there's actual food inside it. Harry's in the speaker section, connecting his phone to the speaker and playing moaning noises. We were just having fun. I didn't think we were actually in the store for any specific reason, but little did I know, Harry had a plan the whole time. Because I had my back in the alleyway. It just has the daily essentials in it. Phone charger, snacks, water, Barbie doll, just the normal stuff. But for some reason, while I was off to the side just looking at some of my boys, my friend must have decided that this was the perfect time to go behind my back and frame me for a crime that should have never happened. Now here's the thing, I didn't see this crime happen, I didn't hear it, I didn't feel it. All I know is, about 10 weeks later, we tried leaving Best Buy, and the moment we walked through that front door, you know what we hear? The shoplifting alarm goes on. Right when this happened, my first thought wasn't, oh no, I'm in trouble. No, I was thinking, no, these alarms supposed to be malfunctioning because there was no reason for them to actually go off. I didn't steal anything. I looked over at Harry and saw that he had nothing on him, so it must have just been one big mistake. I even laughed because in my head, there was 0% chance that we had done anything wrong. But that laughter stopped real quick when three Best Buy employees came sprinting over to us like we just celebrated from gold. When the employees got to us, they didn't look mad. They were professional, but they had this look on their face. You know what I'm talking about? Is that filled with a muscle and will treat you like a criminal. Look, and then they say, you need to check your bags or something like something when you guys try to walk out. And again, I'm chill about it because in my head, I'm thinking this won't be the easiest misunderstanding of all time. I was actually excited for the number because I knew I was innocent. So I unzipped my bag, flipped it up and confidently.
What if here Chris took out his soul? Because we can't see what he's doing when he doesn't have his soul, as seen in chapter 2.
I was still in its case, just chilling inside my backpack. My first reaction when seeing it was just confusion. I didn't know I didn't put that there. So how did it randomly appear? I turned to my friend with the most confused look on my face and said, "Oh, what I asked that?" He just froze like a statue in a wax museum, no expression, nothing. That was the first big sign. Why would he react like that? I look back at the employees and honestly say, I have no idea how that got in there. And one of them, this guy with the most serious dad voice ever, goes, "How many did you come with us?" So now I'm following the Best Buy employees through the store, like I'm being escorted to the electric chair. Meanwhile, my friend, the guy who just potentially committed a felony while using my backpack as a smuggling device, is following behind me, still not saying anything. They bring us to a door labeled employees only, which felt like walking into the back rooms of reality. You don't realize how eerie the inside of a Best Buy can be until you walk into these rooms. The lights are dimmer, the air is colder, and vibes are just awful. We walked into this tiny room that looked like a mix of a break room, an interrogation room, and one of the Geek Squad employees go when they don't want to fix your phone, and then one of the employees goes, "You guys sit tight. We've already contacted law enforcement." Law enforcement? For what? I thought they were just going to take us back here and make us give the computer back and tell us to not do that again, or else, and then let us sleep. So why is law enforcement coming over a misunderstanding?
Y'all, I platinum Delta rings.
Please tell me you know what's going on. Did you actually notice the light? Is it some sort of break or something? Well, once again, he's not giving me the answers. I still didn't know what was something. But after finding out the whole truth a little bit later, I could not have been more disappointed in it. So I'm pacing back and forth in this Best Buy back room, trying not to have a full-blown instant breakdown next to this vending machine that always sells off-brand sodas. But maybe you all some Dr. Bob. Meanwhile, the employees left the room, telling us to wait there, and that they would be back in a couple minutes. And one of them comes back in with a printed sheet of paper And it says, now normally when someone attempts to steal something, you might get a warning or a 6-month ban from the store. But in this case, it's different. Because the retail price of that laptop is $1,099. Now let me explain why that matters. Stealing something worth under $950 is just a misdemeanor. But over $950, that's grand theft, which means we have to contact law enforcement and let them handle it. This whole situation was getting way too serious, way too fast. I didn't even know what grand theft meant. I just thought that was a video game. So I go, okay, I didn't steal anything though, I promise. Check the cameras. And they go, oh, don't worry, we're pulling the camera footage right now. So I'm thinking, this will prove that I'm innocent and they'll let me go. But when I tell you what I saw in that camera footage, somehow it made the situation 10 times worse. Because they leave us alone for a few minutes while they were reviewing the footage, and I'm just sitting there spiraling. And my friend tries to say something, but I cut him off before we can't anything else. Dude, we actually go to jail for this. You realize that, right? Jail. I hope I'll be sleeping in bunk beds and sharing the same toilet. Actually, now that I think about it, jail just sounds like a sleepover with your homies. That don't sound too bad. But still, I didn't want to go. Now that I knew that computer magically disappeared in my bag, I didn't trust anyone or anything, including Harry, because I started thinking, Harry had to have done this. He wasn't paying attention, and he slipped it in my bag. But as I'm going through this in my head, the only question I keep having is, why? So I asked him, Harry, to be honest with you, did you set me up? And he just looks at me, panicked, with his eyes wide, and goes, oh man, I didn't do that. Security camera footage, but perfect. I don't know what I wasn't sure what to believe on. As he's putting his system, the employee comes back into the room. We got the footage.
Toby.
And we get to do a watch along.
Why is Toby playing maracas?
Nice. So we sit there in awkward silence with the employees, just waiting around, and then finally, we hear a knock on the door. The employees open it up, and 2 cops come walking inside. And when these cops walked in, everything just felt more tense. Like they had that police order that just makes you scared. One officer was really tall, probably like 6%. Hey, 6'7". I definitely had some food saved there for later. The other cop was fresh out of college. Like this could have been his first week on the job. They shut the door behind him, and the mustache one says, all right, let's talk about what happened today. We're going to need you 2 to walk us through exactly what happened. From the moment you came into the store to the moment you tried leaving. Now, before I can say anything, my friend suddenly has the urge to speak now and goes, we were shut all. We were planning on anything. We weren't doing anything wrong. I promise. I just like coming to Best Buy because that's really cool stuff. My house, we didn't do anything wrong. So he's just rambling. And with every word that's coming out of his mouth, I'm just thinking, John, I'm going to the jail. This man's the worst liar I've ever seen. So while he's chatting, the mustache cop holds his hand up and it's like, son, slow down. Then he turns to me and goes, you, that guy. What's your version of the story? First of all, that guy. I'm pretty sure that anything was retaken by the one guy that did the floss dance. But regardless, I responded and said, officer, I know this sounds dumb, but I promise I had no idea the laptop was even in my backpack. I didn't touch it, I didn't grab it, I didn't put it in there. I never even saw it. The first time I even realized anything was wrong was when the alarm went off and they checked my bag. Mustache cop raises an eyebrow and goes, so how did it get in there then? And when he asks that, I just freeze. Because what was I supposed to say? Something that I think my friend did just felt like snitching when I didn't know the whole truth. But saying I had no idea how I got in there and it just magically appeared is not a believable story. So I needed something.
Hey, chimney. Forgot chimney.
I don't know. I didn't see it happen, but it wasn't me. That's all I know. Mustache cop doesn't react. He just says, alright, we're going to review the footage together. I don't care. They spin over the dusty little monitor like it's Blockbuster premiere. And no kidding, in that moment, I've never been more nervous to look at a television screen in my life. Not even when I had to watch Teletubbies growing up, and I saw that creepy little sun peeking out every time the footage starts. It shows us walking into Best Buy. Everything's normal. We're talking, we're laughing. Eventually, it gets to the point where we're in the computer section, and there it is. My friend Harry is holding a box in his hand. You can see me turn around to look at some display, and my backpack is on the ground right behind me. The moment I do that, he slips the laptop into my bag like he's some sort of magician. Now here's the part where I almost threw up. In the footage, I turn around right as he's putting it in there. So it looks like he caught him in the act of doing it. But I saw it happen and was in on it myself. As if this was some sort of elaborate plan that we had together. And even worse, there's this moment right after where he says something and I laugh. I'm guessing he said a joke or something. But on camera, it looks real suspicious. I worked on this whole thing together. Now when it actually happened, did I see him sneak the computer into my backpack? No. I don't know how I missed it, but I did. The footage eventually ends, and the cops both look at us, looking for an explanation. I say out loud, I promise, it's not what it looks like. But Mustache Cop just has a stone cold look on his face. And then he says, you know, lying to a cop is a crime, right? Look, we've seen people play dumb thousands of times. And this footage right here, it looks like you're playing dumb. I wanted to scream because I knew I was innocent, but all the evidence pointed towards that being not true. So now I'm sitting there watching my life fall apart at 480p resolution, and all I can think about is how did I end up here? Because why did Harry even put that computer into my backpack and let me leave knowing it was in there? Was he trying to set me up? Or was there a bigger reason that this all happened? And that's when Mustache Cop drops the line that made my soul leave my body. Retail value on this computer is over $1,000. That makes this a felony. A second later, he told us that the punishment for a felony is 2 years in prison. I can't do that. I know what happens to guys like me in there. I would not make it. I'm stuttering. But I wasn't even, I need to hold his hand up again and goes, doesn't matter what you did. It matters what happened. And then, like we're starting an episode of Law and Order, Best Buy unit, and tells us to stand up, so we do. And then they say, you guys are under arrest, and they handcuff us. I'd never been handcuffed before, but it felt way worse than I ever imagined. First off, they're really cold and really tight. So all the freaky people out there that want
Speaking too long.
I don't know if they all do. They walk us through the store like criminals, and every customer is just watching us. Some confused, some entertained. One little kid even goes, "Ronnie, are they bad guys?" And I just wanted to scream, "I'm not. It's Harry." But nothing I said was going to help at this point. When we got outside, they put us in the back of a police car. And as soon as that one told us, it felt really too real. I still hadn't said a word and just stared at him. My brain was trying to decide whether I should panic, rage at him, or just throw him into a ball and cry. And finally, he looks at me in the eyes.
Hold up real quick.
So I just said, "What do you mean you didn't mean?" He was
Back.
Eventually began. Because for the first time since this whole thing started, I had a second blow to process it all. And again, he started rushing in like this leg around me from the wall. My way, pull up. They thought laptop was in my bag. Does that make me the person who actually stole it? Me. And I can be the one who gets in the most trouble because from their perspective, it just looks like I tried walking into that store with a $1,000 computer in my backpack, like it was a Fortnite backpack. They put me in this small room that just had a desk and 2 chairs on it. And I watched enough TV shows to know this was the interrogation. It was a table, 2 chairs, a camera in the corner, and this big window that I knew someone was behind watching us. And I'm sure the people behind it were just thinking, yeah, that's the one that's gonna cry. So I'm just sitting there alone, trying to keep my cool. I look around for something, anything to distract me. But all I see is this sign on the wall that says, lying to an officer is a felony. Well, that's not good, because I knew that actual truth would just sound like one big lie. I don't know if they were trying to scare me with that sign, but it worked. Because the second the officer walks in and sits across from me, my brain goes blank. I couldn't even remember what city we were in. He leans forward and he goes, once again, why don't you tell me exactly what happened? And when I say,
Yeah, one last guy.
I mean, I fumbled it because I responded by saying, we were in the mall, and then Best Buy. I said,
We're letting all the hot
I just
air.
still thought of it. I can put a coherent sentence together to save my life. If the cops saw it,
Well, he just turned off the laptop, so yeah. My favorite song. But let me try some. Um, no. Oh. It's water. I hate watercolors. 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 So you need to make her tired and then Eh. Alright, now to get ran over by Toby, let me see what I'm supposed to do. I guess I'm not trying to get ran over right now. I'm just gonna do up, dot, up, up. I don't know why it won't let me.
At me, like he's trying to figure out if I'm just dumb or guilty. At this point, I was already thinking about how I was going to pose in my mugshot so that I looked good, because I knew that was where this was heading. But finally, I managed to choke out the whole story. How we were just looking around, how my friend must have just stuck it in my bag without me knowing. And the cop just listens to me, stone-faced, not saying anything at all. He asks me again, Slower this time. So you're saying you didn't know the laptop was in your bag? I know he thinks I'm lying, but it's the truth. So I say, yeah, I had no idea. If you look at the footage real closely, you can tell I didn't see him even put it in there. Right after I say that, the officer gives me this weird little smile, like the kind that made me think, oh no, he knows something that I don't. He stands up, leaves, and tells me he'll be back in a second. And this was the moment where I started to genuinely wonder if my friend set me up. Like, okay, if it was an accident, why didn't he say anything to me? Why did he just stand there like a mannequin the entire time? And I started piecing together what I thought happened in my brain. I'm like, wait, what if he's been planning this for weeks? What if he planted the laptop on me so I would get in trouble and he could, I don't know, steal my girlfriend or something? I'm just kidding. We all know I'm just kidding. But anyways, I didn't know what his objective was. And just when I'm about to have a full mental breakdown trying to figure all this out, the door opens again. But this time, two officers walk in, and they're holding a printed sheet of paper. They sit down and slide the paper across the table. It's a screenshot from the security footage. I lean in to look at it, and you know what it is? An image of my friend holding the laptop behind me while I'm looking at some headphones. But the catch? He's smirking and smiling like he just pulled off the heist of the century. I tried getting a couple words out, but they cut me off and go, we saw this whole video. After reviewing it, it doesn't look too good. What do you mean it doesn't look too good? Bro, I am the victim here. I start stammering like, but I didn't even, the other cop tells me to calm down and that they need to finish talking to my friend before they can make any final decisions. This made me super nervous because, like I said, I couldn't trust Harry anymore. So I didn't know what he was going to tell the cops. I thought they were going to come back with a jumpsuit and be like, put this on, you're doing 10 years. 20 years pass before they come back in the room and tell me to follow them. We walk down this long hallway and they take me into a different room. When I go inside, I see that Harry's in it. He's sitting there, pale as a ghost, and the energy in the room is tense. Like we're both trying our hardest not to look at each other. One of the officers sits us down and goes, okay, we've reviewed the footage and heard both sides. The truth is, the situation could have gone a lot worse. Normally, shoplifting something this expensive is charged as a felony, but given that you're both kids, and you both have clean records, my heart pounded. And the fact that Best Buy didn't want to press any charges, we've decided to let you off. That cop deserved 5 big booms after that. I flew back in my chair out of excitement like I just got hit with a tranquilizer dart. But then, of course, as we thought we were in the clear, the cop goes, that doesn't mean there won't be any consequences though. You guys are both banned from that Best Buy for a year. And if anything like this happens again, or before he can even finish, I go, nope, never again, officer. I'm never even going to look at another computer in my life. I'm switching to notebooks, paper only. They walk us out to the lobby, and that's it. We're free. But even after we go outside, there's still one unanswered question. Why did Harry put that computer in my backpack in the first place, and why did he leave it in there when we walked out of the store? Well, finally, now that we knew we weren't in any sort of real danger, he told me that he snuck the computer into there because he wanted to do a magic trick on me. His plan was to magically make a computer appear in my backpack. But after he put it in there, he got distracted by something and literally just forgot that he ever did that. And that's when I realized Harry wasn't evil. He just had the attention span of a fly. Have you ever wondered what goes on inside a school after everyone leaves? Silent hallways, empty classrooms, and strange shadows when all the lights go off. Well, I always did. But I found out what really happens the hard way when my friends and I decided to sneak into school at night. But what started as a fun adventure quickly turned into a night I'll never forget, and not for a good reason. So my friend's dad is a teacher at the school we went to, and one day he comes up to me at lunch with this evil look in his eyes, and he pulls something out of his pocket. With a smile on his face, I can see that he took his dad's classroom key. I asked him why he took that off his dad's keychain, and he told me he didn't. Instead, he got a copy of the key. Now, I couldn't really understand why he would feel the need to do this, so I asked him, and that's when he brought up the idea. Dude, we should sneak into the school at night. Nobody would know. When he said that, I just stared at him like he was crazy, because I was trying to go to a good college, and the last thing I needed was to get busted for trying to break into my old school. Like, how am I going to get into Hogwarts after doing something like that? But my friend wouldn't drop this idea. He just kept pushing it. Come on, we could literally do it next week, and no one would notice. Just think about it. I wish I had better judgment, but after a couple of days of him bringing it up, I decided that it did sound kind of cool. Like, we've all thought about what our school is like when no one's there, and there's something about being in a place that you're not supposed to be that just gets me super excited. So I was convinced. We made a plan to meet up at 10 p.m. that Friday. Once everyone goes home for the weekend, we were pretty confident that there would be no one left at school. We should have been smarter than to think that, though, because on Friday night, when we got to our meeting spot behind the football field, I thought it was just going to be me and him. But he brought his cousin, too. I didn't expect him to do that at all, because I had no idea who this man was. I didn't know if he was going to snitch or not. Whatever though, it's fine. When we finally got to the school doors, it looked super different at night. I never realized how much of an echo the school had when you would talk during the day. But now that we were here with no other noises, it was 10 times louder. We got to the front door of the school, and this is where things started to get nervy. Because once my friend turned that lock to open up the door, it felt like there was no going back. And we weren't sure if that when we stepped inside, that would set off some sort of alarm or anything like that. So I was shaking when he put that key in, but it fit in perfectly. So he turned it, and there it was. That click sound. The door was officially unlocked. We all kind of looked at each other smiling for what we were about to do when we got inside. Once we actually stepped in, the hallways inside were super dark. We only used our phone flashlights because we were scared someone from the outside might see if we used a big one and they would call the police. But as we're walking through the hallways, our footsteps made these big echoes against the walls, and every little noise we heard made us freeze. We were trying to figure out where to go first, and we ultimately decided to go into a couple classrooms. You know, I had some beef with some certain teachers there, and I wanted to do something, to say the least. So I took a dump on Mrs. Schumer's desk. No, I'm just kidding. That was a lie. That was a lie, okay? Mrs. Schumer, if you're watching this, I did not take a dump on your desk, okay? That was not me. That was Gerald. But anyways, all the classrooms looked super creepy at night when it was completely dark. And every time we would go into one of the classes, it felt like someone was watching us. Whenever I got that little tingle thinking that someone was looking at me from behind, I'd turn around super quickly and look at them, thinking that I'd catch someone in the act, but there was never anything there. Sometimes I still do this when I think there's a ghost in my house. And one day, I'm gonna catch him.
Hold on 1 second. Toby. Yeah, Chris has not ADHD. Trauma, PTSD. That's what I mean. Hold on. Actually, no. I won't waste your time. Oh, hey guys. Yo, I'm on mute because I'm watching another dude's live right now. Shout out to Delve Game Guides. He's live streaming at the moment. Why does this theme actually sound like a ringtone? Like, to be honest. forage. I think I did that right now.
Good luck.
Yeah, almost. Like I'm like 1 HP left or something. This boss hits like a truck. I was a little surprised, but because I think no boss hits as hard as this guy. Or when you're talking about a spider, there's no consistency.
Why is Broda giving a?
Spiders do all kinds of like,
Why is Broda giving?
they're like their own entire thing. So whether or not the spider, so the idea that this spider now does the spider supposed to represent like a real kind of spider? I don't know. I kind of doubt it, but. Like, it's called
If fountains spray the roaring cries, and times will shake from darkened
generally
eyes.
see a male spider, but it's important to understand that in a lot of cases, male spiders are much smaller than girl spiders. Okay?
Third hero, the prince,
So
alone
we
in
think of
deepest
mammals
dark.
and stuff. We think of male mammals being larger than female mammals, right? But for insects, it's often reversed. A boy spider will often be a lot smaller than a girl spider. For whatever reason, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, who knows? I mean, obviously, it's, just like a monster. But, yeah, I mean, presumably these spiders are based on, or loosely based on some kind of real spider they've seen, that the developer saw. But yeah, I mean, your guess is a good one. Like, spiders vary so wildly that there's no telling how the spider could be. So, but I guess it's a web-like spider. So some spiders don't lay webs, right? So it's some kind of web-based spider, right? That has like a web of some kind. So I think that means it's their, so webs have been around for a long time. Webs are actually really interesting because insects have wings, right? So spiders have webs. Shit, you know what I mean? But they're like lizards and stuff, and certain creatures where how they operate is that if there are no males, this is actually a real thing by the way. So there's like lizards on some islands and stuff where if there's no males around, they will literally lay eggs, and then all of the eggs will be boy spiders. I mean, will be boy lizards. Okay, and the reason that works is because chromosomally, right, mammals have two sex chromosomes, right? The X and the Y, right? So I'm, for example, that's Y chromosome, women are XX chromosomes, right? Female mammals or humans or whatever are XX chromosome, right? Well, for lizards and a lot of birds and stuff, it's actually reversed. So the girls are ZW chromosome, and the boys are ZZ chromosome or something like that, or WW chromosome. Okay? So the idea being is that in some situations, you can have a female lizard with like a ZW chromosome, and that lizard can lay an egg. It's always WW or ZZ chromosome, and then that's a boy lizard. Right? So they do have a strategy to reproduce if yes, something different. So boys, so male mammals are XY or whatever, and female mammals are XX, right? So lizards, so some birds and some reptiles and stuff is reversed. So girl lizards are like ZW, and boy lizards are like ZZ. That makes sense. So you can have interesting kind of scenarios where on some islands, and in some cases, a lizard will lay eggs despite there being no boy lizards. That's a
Yeah,
real thing.
last was a girl. Last was a
And the
girl.
children and the babies produced are all boys, right? But for most animals, for most organisms, for most complex forms of multi, I don't know, I guess. For most animals, most animals, I believe the majority of multicellular life reproduces sexually. Yeah, XX and XY chromosome type stuff and like gene recombination. But I think there might be a small number of multicellular life forms that don't. Or and things like jellyfish, like jellyfish. So jellyfish can reproduce sexually, but they can also reproduce asexually, stuff like that. There's all kinds of random stuff in the ocean. So exactly what this spider can do? Well, technically, the spider can't do anything because it's a video game with bee everything. Like this, that works like I think. Yeah, the lizard goes to the pride parade and stuff. It's like some random island lizard at the local pride parade. That'd be so based. Like imagine you go to a pride parade and there's like a lizard. It's like a fancy lizard. It's just like there, like some huge lizard from like the ocean or something. But they don't like, so they're like really awkward. It'd be really tough to have like a big lizard, like that kind of situation. But yeah, for one reason or another, some multicellular life does reproduce asexually. Although whether or not this particular spider can, I've never heard of a spider that can do that. Why hyena have both? Hyenas are mammals. So hyenas are mammals. So they reproduce sexually. And on top of that, the girls have XX chromosomes. I don't know anything about
Find its way to the
I don't know
girl.
really much about hyenas. I know they're highly territorial. They're very, very highly territorial. They do things like they do bones, right? So like a carcass will be left out in the outfield or something. Crack open the bones. They'll wait for like a rotten carcass and they'll like eat the bones and they'll crack them open, eat the marrow and stuff. It's my understanding of hyenas. Hyenas don't have both. Hyena, I believe, have all the accoutrement of a mammalian creature. They do weird stuff. They are weird. They're weird in that way. I'm not going to elaborate, but they are strange in that sense. the location of their birth canals and stuff is very strange. But we don't have to worry about that. I don't even know them that much about it. I'm not like a hyena expert or anything. Yeah, no, I got you. The wildlife is hard, man. Crazy stuff. No Dark Souls in Fortnite, you know? Out there in the African savannah. You're in a stakeout. You're watching, you know, hyenas or whatever. Oh, did he? I'll look over your stream real quick. What is it? What's he reusing from Undertale? But anyway, yeah. So really cool organisms. Really cool organisms. I think the girl hyenas are bigger. I'm not sure. I'm not an expert in hyenas. But like for example, a long time ago there was that Harley Quinn movie. That let's take a look here. There's that Harley Quinn movie. No, I don't. Always be. Yeah. So really cool organisms. Really cool organisms. I think the girl hyenas are bigger. I'm not sure. I'm not an expert in hyenas. But like for example, a long time ago there was a Harley Quinn movie that let's take a look here. There's a Harley Quinn movie. I don't see what they reused. But anyway. Oh, okay. Interesting. But like I was saying, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So the thing about hyenas, right?
There's one person.
Buffalo are probably really easy to keep. American bison, as they're actually called. Peccaries, right? That's another American animal that I've seen in museums here.
Germany, nice. You guys had that one leader back in World War II, huh? And she just had that look on her face that was like, what did you just say? And I don't blame her because I was also thinking, what the heck did I just say? So right after that, she told me she had to get to her gate, which I knew was a lie because she said she was flying to Houston and the only plane going there wasn't leaving for another 2 hours. I don't blame her though. I would have left that conversation as soon as possible too. I need to learn more about other countries, bro. We really need to teach our parents how to use emojis correctly because my mom was just texting me about the fires that are happening in California and I was saying how it's super sad because a lot of people lost their homes and some people even passed away. But in response to saying this, my mom sends me a message that says, yeah, apparently over 20 people have already passed away from the fire. But that wasn't the end of the message. You know what she said right after that? 3 emojis. And it was the fire emoji, the skull emoji, and the freaky ghost emoji that sticks its tongue out. The emojis literally made it sound like she was telling a joke. And I was like, Mom, that is not the right context to use those. But then I sent the skull emoji after saying that. So she was like, why are you allowed to use the skull emoji in that text, but I can't use it in mine? And it made me realize, I was like, dang, she's right, because her situation was actually appropriate for the skull emoji while mine was, but because we've changed the meaning of the emoji, it just doesn't fit there. Please teach your parents what the emojis mean. If you're on a date, never order anything weird, because the other night, I was at a restaurant and I saw this pretty girl a couple of tables over, so I was trying to act all nonchalant and mysterious, and to impress her, I decided to order a salad because I was hoping she would be thinking,
We're not. We're in +2 right now. This is gonna take me a while. This is gonna be a while. We're literally in +2 right now. Yeah, it's just gonna take so long. Like, we've been doing this for basically. No, unfortunately, we're not in +2 right now. I'm getting it. No, we're not +7. I wish. It's a long time. It's a problem with Dark Souls 2. I love it. I love it very much. You got it, man. It's a game that really does not want to be beaten on plus 7. It's like very, very, beating plus is like so tricky. Oh yeah. You gotta fight Sir Lot 7 more times, brother. 7 more times. It goes to plus 7. So I've killed Sir Lot once. I've killed Sir Lot. I've killed Sir Lot 7 more times. Yeah, 7 more times. So that would be fun. We're going to Direction Life. This is taking this time. No, but Sirloin's easy. I love Sirloin. It's actually easy as hell. It's actually kind of like too easy. Legit. I fought him. He's probably one of my favorite bosses. But he's also like kind of. Because I love ADP, brother. I give anything for that sweet, sweet ADP. I love ADP. It's my favorite stat. In some ways, it's the worst Dark Souls stat ever. It's like literally the most broken, worst Dark Souls stat. It's ever been in Dark Souls. It's also just so epic. What is it? Come on. There it is. Up and down. It's life it. What do you see? Just go to go. This one? Yeah, it's there it is. It's right. Faker Gerson? Who's Faker Gerson? Yeah. When you get 99, you have it's like 50, it's like 17 iframes or something. I looked it up. It's a lot of iframes. You actually have like a lot of iframes, like a huge number, like a stupid number of iframes. Like a really, really, really dumb number of iframes. Let me look it up. I'll tell you. Because I want to know too. But you need a lot of ADP. You need like a ton of ADP. It's 17 iframes. At 120 agility, that's 17 iframes. So 17 iframes is like that's a lot, right? Like that's really, really, really crazy. 17 and 99 with like probably some, you probably also need some some achievement too. I will do. Yeah, maybe I'll have 99. Maybe we'll have 99 for installed. I thought we'll have 99. Yeah. Yeah, just reverse that roll. 17, I think, 29. I think it's like that's part of what Dark Souls 2 lets you. Let you live that kind of thing. It's part of the rights of the Dark Souls 2. Just sit there and have women. No, PS3 was not it. PS3 very much does not it. PS3 is like a fixed number of roles. It's a very fixed number of cameras in other one. Absolutely. Definitely. I'm glad. Yeah, I don't know what you think it was. ADP is literally the worst stat that it does. It's absolutely insane. It's probably the best stat today. Well, that's it. Yeah, I love ADP though. As far as like actually using it in the game, I love it. But it always feels like a bit of a waste because it's really convenient for you if you can dodge kidnap anyway. But still, I mean, like, if you're going to ITSR, you're going to need, like, a ton of it. I wouldn't recommend doing the ITSR stuff or, any of that kind of crap without. And potentially, it could also be, it could also be sort of mean hit runs and crap like that. And also, we'll be showing you also. How good Delta Moon looks. So it's guys playing Delta Moon in chat. Sorry, not sorry, I'm so excited that's not. So guys playing Delta Moon in chat, and it's actually a really interesting game. Like I'm really like, a little distracted by Delta Moon. It is a great game. I want to play it. Oh, come on. I'm gonna pick the red fountains off of this. Each place in the website. Or just regular website. I love that Undertale. Like, if you ever play games like Undertale, it's actually like a scary thing. More ways. Good art, good music, good fun. Fun characters. It's good. I like them. And Delta Moon is out now. But Delta, it's so much long. It's so long after Undertale that I don't know. I haven't gotten a chance to do it. So I want to drop in for the color game. Yeah, All Night's pretty good. I played 6 on that. I really like that much. It's okay. Zombie.
Clipped.
Onyx is a little bit. I don't know about Blasphemous. I think I've heard of it, but I've never played it. But I think it looks really good. I'm not sure. I kind of want to get into 2 games. I actually want to make like an indie game at some point. I'll look it up. I'll look it up in a second. I'll tell you what I think. Because I think I've heard of it, but I don't know exactly what I saw about it. You know what I mean? Wow. Sold Great Hero. Hold on, I'm gonna look that game up. Look last my sorry. I'm gonna tell you this. It's supposed to be Toriel's kid. Have I heard of this game? No, I think I have not heard of this game. I think there's another game kind of like it that I heard of. Looks cool though. Super cool. Oh, isn't he in college? Is that old? Huh. Yeah, but I mean, like, I wish there was more time to play more video games. Because I wouldn't necessarily be opposed to playing Glass of this one. I don't know if I have the time right now. Yeah, you already know it's called Power Stance. I know what you're but it's Power Stance. Yeah, so I can do that right now. If you want me to do it right now, I can. Watch. But you have to have certain stats. Yeah, so Vic. Boom. I can do that. I can dress with both my swords. Oh, you just get to attack both weapons at once. It's not actually that good. It depends on your character, right? So if you have really high physical stats and you're using a plus 10 weapon vanilla, it's really good. But if you're not, if you're using like an elemental weapon like I'm using, it's not very good. So people usually don't like it. But if you want to play a character that's like a tank or something and has like a bunch of defenses, it's really good. It's like really good, actually. It's one of my favorite mechanics in the game. But it's also one of those things they got rid of because it just wasn't that powerful. So it kind of depends. So like, maybe I'll use it against him. Once I find the enemy, I'll try that one before then. I kind of want to see whether that works. No, no two shield block. There are some shields you can do like special attacks with, but no blocking two shields. Yeah, that'd be too cool. So let me show you that. So, right, this I can trust the weapons, and then we'll go attack an enemy with it, right? Uh-oh. See, the damage isn't really that incredible, but it's okay. Yeah, actually, you know what? That's not bad. Pretty decent, actually. It's not so bad. It's not so bad. Yeah, there's certain shields that you can use as weapons. You can use power sets on. So I can't not range shields, the purification shields or something. There's like some shields that you can use like that. And you use them together and you can attack with them and stuff. And you can block. So shields you attack the shields. What shields do. If you have a shield in the other hand, you attack with it. Or in the right hand. But like I said, it's kind of not that useful. And the thing is, you can't buff both weapons at once, right? So if you're using elemental weapons with elemental buffs, you can't buff both of them elementally. You can't buff both of them elementally. You can only what it's called. You can only buff one of them. So it kind of doesn't really work with elemental buffs, and you kind of need elemental buffs for like your big buffs. That's the problem with Dark Souls games in general, is that as you level up, okay, right, as you go into new game plus and you level up, characters converge. Okay. So what I mean by that is, right, so if we look at my stats, for example, okay. Toby Fox's ringtone.
Right? Like most stats soft count. It's like 50 vigor, 20 endurance, 25 achievement, 40 defense, 30 and 30 faith, right? If I start putting in points past those points, I start getting a lot less value.
I don't need all the value, but I started giving a lot less value. Right? So if you're playing Dark Souls, you're trying to play Dark Souls optimally. Um, you oftentimes don't really have the like a character that's really less. It's kind of they all kind of try to the same character. Does that make sense? And so the more I level up, like think about this, right? Like let's say you're 99 in all stats. Are they? Because I've killed every boss. So it's probably why. Because I've killed literally every boss. So I've killed all the DLC bosses, all the, the Dark Liquor, like, I've killed, I haven't been grinding, I've just been killing all of the DLC bosses. It's probably the biggest contributor to DLC bosses. The DLC areas and stuff like that. Yeah. I like that. Stuff. It's blood. I get lost. Yes, because I'm doing every boss for every new game whatsoever. Including like yes or alive or all like that. It's gonna take me like a billion years. So, oh, and then you turn around here. It's this way. And I'm using kind of the silver serpent thing. And so my armor, okay? So my armor, my character's armor, is giving me bonus souls, right? So all my armor is so it's like plus 5% souls, plus 10% souls, plus 5% souls, okay? And I'm using silver cap for every box. So I'm getting more souls than I would be getting otherwise. And then not only that, I'm killing every boss too. So it's pretty natural at higher level probably compared to most characters. So I don't know if this is like really high, if that's really high or something like that. But, yeah. Oh yes. Yeah. And I've dumped like so many points of it. Yeah. So it's kind of all just going to waste a little bit. Yeah. But hey, that's part of the fun of Dark Souls too. Stacking. Delta Room looks so good. Okay, so next up, going down. Something else, ladder. Okay, I think I can sort of, yeah. This is gonna be tricky. It's probably fine. I forget that. It's like, that's been, it's like, to look at it later. Yeah, I know this game. I played this game a few times. Just a few times, yeah. Just a couple. I played this game, I've really only played this game like 10 times. Somewhere between 10 and 15 times. So, there's definitely players that know a lot better than I do, but yeah. I don't gotta think too hard about it. Press prayer. Every day, campus child. It's actually one of those plates, so it's good. More versus 3. You can play this. Our first playthrough was like, my first playthrough was like 100 hours. Why doesn't this work? No, I haven't played over. Eventually I will. I think we go on there. Well, you don't have to start fun. 1 second. Now, just do the whole one, I guess. Okay, cool. I haven't played Elden Ring yet. Elden Ring looks really good though. Because I'm really worried my computer won't be able to handle it. Especially streaming and stuff. So I'm like really like nervous about Elden Ring. So it kind of makes me crap my pants. Someone tell me to. I do want to play it very badly, but it makes me very nervous that I won't be able to handle it because of my computer. But it's sometimes soon I'll get it and I'll test it. Which character are you talking about there? Better than GTA 6. You still talking about the goat kid, you remember that? Well, I'll try that again. Is it better than GTA, you say? That's really cool. GTA 6, so the one that hasn't come out yet. The one that's not going to come out for another, 10 years or something. Oh, that was fun. Yeah, I don't know if the open world thing is that much. I think it's just like a trend. If people like the open world until they actually think about it, and then they're like, oh, it's just a trend. Okay. Well said, not Austria. And my grandchildren will play GTA 6. They'll be playing GTA 6 on Mars. Stuff like that, yeah. They're probably really afraid of getting banned. Which probably won't happen, which never know. Seems like that's like relatively safe. Honestly, if there's anything in the world that I could bet would be bad. Yeah. Because what's going to happen is it's going to come out and people will feel like it's so badly optimized. And then it's going to make people are going to panic critically. It's only going to make $10 million as opposed to $60 million. And so they're never going to make another GTA game. And that's what's going to happen. I mean, watching YouTube videos of guys who are like, is GTA cooked gamers? And that's what's going to happen. You know what? You know exactly that what's going to happen. So that's probably why they're not super interested in doing it. Probably now have a... Yeah, apparently it's really good now. Apparently it's really good now. And I do want to play it. It's really good. It does look really good to me. But I haven't done running right. There's another one where I'm afraid that the computer won't be able to hack it. because I'm recording that streaming right now at the same time. So I'm streaming and I'm recording. And I'm, yeah. So I'm like really worried that I won't be able to do all three things. Well, just because I'm used to doing things this way. Like you can run through, but if I screw it up and I die, it's like not worth. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not a good use of my time if I screw it up. So I just like go slow and the way that I that's the If you die anyway, I feel like I can control myself dying anyway. Yeah, very likely actually. Got in one. God, okay. It's just the setup that I have. I know there's a better setup. So I can do that. I probably should know the setup. Like I actually look up pictures of the setup. I just don't. That's like I've done it in the past. I know for a fact I've done it in the past. But the thing is, I did a long time ago. I did not a long time ago, but like months and months ago. I did a Death with No Bonfire run, and so that's just how I did it. For Death with No Bonfire. So I kind of just custom built the way. Difficult as always. Challenging as always. Challenging as always. There's a fire seat into it. Yeah, as long as if you do it right, it's maybe worth the time you spend. You know what I mean? Because like if you have to do it a whole bunch of times, that's like you're dumb. So that's kind of my thinking. What is this again? Like, yeah, we can do it. Yeah, so yeah, it's just the setup that I have. Okay. You're probably right. I should know what that setup. Yeah, look, it's forward. Chill alone is a joke. Like, getting to him is harder than the actual boss. I do love that boss. It's one of my favorite bosses in the entire Soul series. I think he's really look pretty cool too. But so the trick with him, okay, what you want to do with him is you want to get really good at timing the charge. Okay, so when he does the dumb charge thing that he's always going to do, you want to be really good at timing that. And then just like you want to be rolling on basically his left side or his right side to dodge his sword swipes. And he's really easy once you do that. Literally the harder part because there are lines is getting to him. Getting him to him is harder than the boss, in my opinion. Don't worry. That's another reason why ADP is broken is because it makes it easier to get the bosses like Cyril Long. Okay? Because when you're on your way to Cyril Long, there's a bunch of like knights that are gonna like try to stab you and stuff. And so it's so much easier if you just like ignore them. Basically.
Almost 10, not that it matters. I don't think I'm going to cast any offensive power lenses, but we'll worry about that later. Hello, dude. How's it going? So you saw you a couple nights ago? See you again? Before the one dark weapon again. And then we go, where am I going? Lost. Yep, yeah. That's actually it though, unfortunately. I am really like that. I am very much like that. I love ADP. If ADP were a girl, I would marry ADP. If ADP were like a beautiful lady, I would marry her. Yeah, I love ADP. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I know that a lot of people don't like ADP. I love ADP. I think ADP is like Shadow. It's broken Shadow. It's just unfair. But I think there does come a point where you overdo it. Yeah, absolutely, very much. And I'm probably like at that point. Very much so. Say, Ralphie's smoking one here. He's streaming Deltarune. Deltarune looks really insane. Like, I'm like blown away at how good Deltarune looks. Kind of like shocked. Let me dark right here. It's T-Dog. Uh-oh, wrong sword. Oh, T-Dog. Roy. Yeah, so I guess Roy is fine too. Oh. I think you just forgot the T. Something. I need scratch alert for this. Oh, okay. I keep that for it. Smash Brothers character. Roy. Yeah, Shadow Winter's up there.
Light and dark, both burning die. Countdown to the earth's expire. The fountains free, the roaring cries, in titan shape from darkened eyes.
But what did you say? I think I can skip these next two guys. So it's like a Trojan horse kind of thing. So that's how you're trying to make a reference to the Trojan horse. Like you know the Trojan horse. Okay, one second. Let me see this Deltarune boss. I'll give you my opinion about this Deltarune boss. I'll let you know my personal opinion here. Let's see. Deltarune boss. Dude, this game looks so good. Yeah, if you've never played Deltarune, if you've never played Undertale or something, it's actually really good. A lot of people who are my age are like, Undertale's really good. It's very much a game that's like, built for fantasy, I think. But other than that, it's really the same thing. Really good music, really good characters, really fun stuff, secrets, weirdo stuff. It's got it all. Very underrated for, what it is, kids game. Or it's really easy. It would come in per se. I guess your grandma could play it, you know. It's that kind of game. Very good though. I will never apologize for loving Undertale. Really good. And I will take every opportunity to sell it as being like this insanely good video game. Because it is really cool. And if you're expecting like Dark Souls or something, not even close. I think I died like twice in my entire world. So there's 2 bosses at the end that are a lot harder. Yeah, Hollow Knight is really good. It's a little too easy. It has the same kind of problem, I think, where it's just a really tiny bit too easy. And I know there are people that are saying, like, oh, it's so hard, it's so hard. It's like, no, it's not. It's like, no offense. Right? The last thing I want to do is be like, oh, you're, like, talk down to people or something like that. But it's not that hard a game. It's a good game. It's a fair game. This character, this boss is really cool. This boss is really, really cool. This is really insanely cool. Like, makes me want to play Delta Minute. Yeah, Hollow Knight, Hollow Knight, it's a really cool game. Really, really. It's just not a game I've seen. It's not a game I've gotten around to yet. I know it's slightly easier than people think it is. But I will play it someday. I've done playing Dark Souls like 15 times, or 15 times. And the next game is Demon Souls. So, like Demon Souls, once I finish this run, once I finish this run to plus 8, to 7, that's what's coming next. Demon Souls. Or if you want to go learn about Demon Souls, yeah, we're gonna learn about Demon Souls together. Really cool game. It's gotta be obscure Dark Souls title. Very popular game, Hollow Knight, you understand that. A game that has lanterns and travel makes sense. Are you talking about Darkest Dungeon? Oh, Demon Souls. Yeah, Demon Souls is really cool. No, I think Chu Cup for I don't know if that is at Thai. I don't know. Or Vietnamese. It's like sorry, I'm an American, so I just don't know necessarily. But what was I saying? Yeah, I think you're talking about Darkest Dungeon. I love Darkest Dungeon. Darkest Dungeon is a good thing. I think it's underrated. I think it's a good game. It's a little old-timey and janky, but I think it's part of the charm of it. Definitely part of the charm of it. Yeah, I've played Demon Souls like 2 or 3 times already, and both times I've loved it. It was like shockingly good. It's like really tough to get into. At first, you're like, it's like a Dark Souls game, but bad. That's what you first thought about it, but after you play it a little bit, you really like start seeing the magic of it. It's really interesting. There's a lot of stuff. It's definitely not as polished as Dark Souls. I think between Dark Souls is level 1 but it's also really underrated. Right? Maybe not really underrated. I'm not really an expert on like what people think about it. Like, I think the comedians out there are finding it. I absolutely adore it. About how good. How do you make words? I'm just like looking for the code. I don't feel at all. But it was last time. Yeah, I can't wait to get into the Souls. That's going to be really fun. It's an obscure enough game that I think people will like liking it, not seeing it. Dude, how long is this boss fight? Sorry, I'm playing the Rouse over here. Shooting.
Oh, heck no.
I got the focus.
Garbage. No. 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 Thanks. I hate it, bud. Yes, I think it's just not often though, like now. I think if I had, yes, so probably if I had less ADD and more. I'm not gonna touch it. Sure. Like, I'll tell you one thing, they're actually forces for a reason. That's not a thing. So it's probably not really advantageous to you only need more than one thing. So pretty painful. My body was pretty. Okay, so at least I can skip all that. I didn't even know I could skip that, but I had to go kind of hard. So, okay. Yeah. Actually, I killed these guys using it. never seen it. It's the one glasses that I think are that's the film. Oh, is it? You're done with the cable. Scared of me. It's a real tough setup, actually. Did you beat the game in 2 hours? Is the game really 2 hours now? Okay. One of them should be spawned out, right? Yeah, I got the sound. I just have to go to sleep. Just pray about that. Well, one of the main things about power sensing, okay, is you double dipping on one of your things. Sorry, yeah, I'm not there. I know there's a way. I know I've seen it. There. I'll play some more.
Picture this. You're staying at an old creepy hotel in the middle of nowhere, and during the night, you get a knock on your door. You look through the peephole to check who could possibly be knocking at this time, and what you see is a man in an all-black outfit, wearing gloves, staring at you.